Good morning everyone, day 2 of isolation along. I hope you're all well. This is a bit distracting, isn't it? Let me take it down. That's a bit distracting. There we are, that's a bit better. Day 2, yesterday we did the Ohio Star block, which is that one. We did that yesterday. There's some brilliant ones in the comments. What I'm going to aim to do is print the images off so I can show everyone them. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to go into the event on my laptop here, actually Lily's laptop, and I'm going to just share the stream so that we've got everyone watching. No one watching yet, I am alone currently. So let's just go into the event. And oh, someone's joined us. Yay, hello, good morning. Right, I'm just going into the event now. Oopsies, I'm just sharing the stream. So if you just give me a second, I can do that. Which is in discussion. If you can't find, well, you can find it because you found it. I'm just going to share, because I know a few people had problems yesterday trying to find the live. So if I share it to the pages that I'm admin of, hopefully we'll get some more people able to view. So I'm at the live there. Oopsies. I'm using my daughter's computer, so it's a little fiddly. But I hope you're all well. I've got the block here ready to go. So we need 2.5-inch strips for this. Every day I post around 6 o'clock at the latest. Yesterday I posted about 4 because I had time. But exactly what you need to pre-cut for the block. So it's just 2.5-inch strips today. So I can see you all joining. Thanks very much. The Wi-Fi here is a little bit on the slow side. So I'll just share it to one page. I won't go crazy, there's no need. We are live, exclamation mark. Oh, morning Abby, that's me. Morning Maggie. I am very well, thank you. Getting there, slowly but surely. Hopefully I can now post this. Oopsies, hold on. Right, I'm going to just hand this over to my helper, my daughter, so she can go to the house and just click the button where we've actually got some decent Wi-Fi. Morning, Ali. Hi, Sam. Right, let me just give my helper some. Lily, can you put the mouse down a second because you're just interfering with me? Thank you. Right, my love, when you go back to the house, Lily, put the mouse down for a second, please. Right, post. You should be able to click that. It's posting. Hold on. Oh, we've shared it. Brilliant. Right, you can go and close your Wi-Fi down now. Right, sorry about that, everyone. I just wanted to make sure we were sharing and so everyone can see, because as I said, some people had difficulty yesterday finding the stream. So I've shared it to my Abeygale page. So if anyone is asking you where the live is, just direct them there. Morning Shirley, morning Maxine, hi Mum, hi Christine. Right, so to recap yesterday, we did the Ohio Star block, which I can actually say now. Some great ones in the comments, which I love, they're quite super. And today we are doing the woven ribbon star. Morning Leslie. No, not real mouse, no. I don't know why kids these days have to have a laptop with its own mouse. Don't they just use the middle bit? I thought that was what that was for, but apparently they don't. And they fiddle with the mouse when you're trying to use the laptop. Right, so okay. 2.5-inch strips is what we need for today. You need 4 colours. Now you do need what is called your background colour. Hi Carol. So we're going to make 4 of these. So this lilac is my background colour because I'm going with a theme. Actually, I don't have enough to do the whole 12 in this, so I might have split it up into 2 lap quilts. But, oh, it's harder to use the middle bit, is it? Maybe I've just been struggling through. I don't know. What was I saying? Yes, I probably don't have enough fabric to make all 12 blocks in the same fabric, so I might do it 2 lots of 6, but we'll see how we get on throughout the Facebook didn't notify you, Louise. No, I don't. I think there's something about events. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Sandra. I know I do witter on. Right, so making 4 of these, and you need 1 colour which is going to be your background colour. So I've gone for the lilac. This isn't the neatest. We're making 4 of these. Background colour, you need a centre colour, then you need a 2 other colours, up to you. It's quite nice to have a block colour for the longer one because that really does make the effect, which we'll put together. I'm going to make all 4 pieces on the live. This was just one that I was practicing, but I'm not going to pre-prepare anything so that if anyone is stitching along, we do actually stitch along. Good morning, Adrienne. You managed to find us. Yes. Oh, you like the wittering. I'll just take a sip of a drink. But as I explained yesterday, this is super informal. This is just me wittering away to you, making a block. If you can hear any noise, I've got a heater directed at my feet. I did have it up here, but that definitely would have been too noisy. Right, so anyway, enough wittering, let's get started. So I'm going to poke you down. Oh, you're on your own, Jane. Good morning, Michaela. Yeah, apart from the children, I do feel like I'm on my own because they're all sort of doing their own thing, and I'm feeling a bit like a lost cause at the minute, wandering around, wiping surfaces, checking on my toilet roll, making sure we've got enough. I've not stockpiled. I'm just hoping there'll be some when I need some. But anyway, I'm going to poke you down and we'll get on with the stitching. So excuse this bit, I know this is super unflattering. Hold on. Whoop. Okay, can you see that okay? Let me know. I'll wait to start just so that you can tell me if you can see that okay. Hopefully you can. My sister's not sure what she's doing today. Hazel, you're watching with Sandy. The trouble is Sandy is in Wales and I'm in Spain. Oh, wow. That's brilliant, isn't it? That's so good that you can do that, though. Oh, Sue, you got everything you went out for. That's brilliant, isn't it? Gosh, that's good. Right, let's start. We're going to start with a centre block. This is going to be 2.5 inches. Oh, that's not very square. You do want to make sure that your first piece is square. Otherwise, you can go off on a bit of a wonk, and you do want them to be as accurate as possible. Now, I'm not the patchwork police. If it goes wonky, it goes wonky. You know, who cares? Not me. There is no judgment here at all. Right, that's a bit better. And if it does go wonky, still share the picture. I still want to see it. So I'm sure it's absolutely fabulous. Right, start with a 2.5 inch square. If you've got a ruler like me, which is filthy, I've got a 1/2 inch here and then I've got the rest of the markings. So always just use that, or you can square up on your board. Oh, Michaela, your mum's feeling better. That is brilliant. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I was thinking about you last night, actually. I had a quick check of the video to make sure that it was all, you know, being viewed and things, and I did think about you. So I'm pleased about that. Right, so next one we're going to do is to this side. So we need a 2.5 inch square, and that is your background fabric square. So in my case, it's the lilac. If you're going for a white background, whatever your background colour is, this is a 2.5 inch square. So your centre piece, background piece. Right sides together, and we're going to stitch 1/4 inch again. Everything with me, you'll probably notice, is 1/4 inch. If you do have seam guides at this point, they're great to use, or you can draw a 1/4 inch down. You don't have to, you know, it's up to you. But if you want to draw the line and stitch on the line, then you can. But just make sure that's lined up. I'm just using the same pink thread as I was using yesterday. Seems quite handy. What was I doing? 1/4 inch. I'm just going to flip that round so I can do it easier here. So 1/4 inch from top to bottom. Yes, we're all very pleased, Michaela, very pleased indeed. Right, so 1/4 inch. And I just stitch off. I don't, there's no point in back stitching or anything like that, because you're going to be encapsulating all those seams. But what I will do is keep chopping my threads, because you don't want to accidentally catch your threads through the layers and you've got one bit poking out through a seam. I'm just going to pop my fabrics here, because I need to, there's a lot of pressing. We want to make sure everything is pressed nicely. Just bring in that, and I'm just going to move yesterday's block. Pop that to one side. Right, so we've got this one. We're going to press the dark side. So we're setting that seam, and then we're rolling that side back, like so, and you've got your first bit. Right. Now, so facing you, you'll have your colour block, and then to the left, you'll have your background block, okay? Oh, Michaela, patchwork cushions. Oh, yes, my favourite. Right, background. You're now going to use your second background piece, which is going to be along the top here. And then we're taking it to the end of here. Now, we don't need to measure, because all we're going to do, I've got caught a bit of the, I'll just trim that up. I've caught a bit of the selvage on this strip. So I'm just going to find a bit that hasn't got the selvage and just trim it up. Okay, get rid of that bit. That goes in the reject pile. So, taking this piece, just make sure it's square. I don't think that, it's not, that's absolutely dreadful. But we're all human. Just gonna trim that off. Okay, better. Loads of you watching, 40 people watching, absolutely brilliant. Right, so here we are. I'll move my mat. I wish I had my smaller mat with me. I've got just the giant one, so it's getting in the way a bit. Right, taking your next background colour, you're going to place that right sides together on the piece that you've already done. Now, this piece for some reason is too small. It's too thin. So we'll just do that again. I was obviously a bit chop happy. I was a bit chop happy with the rotary cutter there. As long as everything stays 2.5 inch strips, you're fine. Right, so right sides together, you're going to place this along here, and you're going to stitch all the way down, but you can run off the end. That's why we've got this extra, so that it means when we square up, everything's accurate. If you cut this before and for some reason you stretch it, or you stretch the underpiece and it doesn't quite match up, it doesn't matter, because you've now got this long piece. It gives you a little bit of extra security. Pin it if you want to. But again, starting at the top, 1/4 inch, down. Okay, I think I've just, yeah, gone off. We're fine. So now we're going to press this open. Try and do everything so you can see. Press this open, leaving this tail. I'm going to press the dark, so we'll keep this the dark. Set that in place. Roll back. Okay. Now we take it to our cutting mat and we can square this off. So all we're going to do is cut along this edge here. The edge that we know this block here is right because that's our starting block. So as long as that's straight there, straight off the end. Okay, so then you've got this. Lovely. Okay, so the next piece, I'm going to go for this beautiful purple colour. So now we've done our centrepiece. We can ignore that fabric now. We've done 2 background pieces and we're going to ignore it. We're going to ignore that fabric for now. So taking the purple or whatever it is you would like, let's just square this off. Get rid of the selvage. So this purple piece is going to be the shorter of the 2 points. This is the shorter one. That's what we're doing now. So again, same technique. If you want to trim off, you know, if you want to cut it off, say here, and use it like that, then you can still do that. It's a lot easier to manage that way. You don't have to have all the fabric sprawling behind you. But right sides together, corner of the backing piece, and then all the way down to the coloured piece. And you can run off the edge again so that everything's neat. So bring in the machine again. I love this block. Really easy, but really effective. So stitch that all up. And we can put that purple fabric aside for now because we won't need it again in the block. And then bring in our iron. Now the purple is definitely the darker, so we'll press that and then we'll roll that back. Roll it back. Oh, I've got a huge fly on me. Oh, did you see the size of that fly? The world is going mad, the size of the flies. Right, you now want to trim this piece up so that it's square. Did anyone see that fly? So making sure those 2 are flat against the ruler and trim off your excess. So now we've got that. Okay. Now I will always position my block so that it's facing me. At all times I'll turn it back round so the centre block is there and the first background piece is on the left hand side. That just makes it a lot easier for me to be able to picture how this is going to go together. Right, so now we need our final colour, which is this hot pink. And again, same as before, we're going to, is that a fly emoji or is it an ant? We're going to place it right sides together, and I'll probably pin this one just because it's a little bit longer and it will be a lot easier for me to manage if it's pinned. That is an ant. It's an ant, I think it's an ant. Right, so stitch a 1/4 inch again and again run off the edge. You can see how this is coming together really quickly. I'm just going to take out my pin because I didn't pin it quite where I wanted it. Right, stitch. So the video from yesterday, the first block, that's had 2.2 thousand views. So I hope there's a lot of people out there that are having a great stitch. Set that seam. And then trim again. I think we nearly hit 50 viewers then. We're so close. So if you've got anyone that wants to view the video, obviously there's no sign up to anything, there's no selling of anything, there's no advertising of anything. It's just a nice stitch. Right, so trim off that one. So now you should have this, okay? Which you'll notice is very similar to this, but this has got points. This one does not have points. Also, here's a good example for you. I was just stitching this one as I went. I was just finger pressing it, just to test that the technique was right. Okay. This one I've been pressing as I go. I hope that you can see the difference. This one is lovely and flat and everything lines up properly, and this one's bumpy and not so fantastic. And I have pressed this afterwards. So finger pressing as you go, probably no. Pressing as you go, definitely yes. So we've done that. We now need to bring in our background fabric again, and we're going to cut two 2.5 inch squares. What's the fly flew in to see the close-up? I think they did. I think the fly flew in. So two 2.5 inch squares now. So I'm using my ruler to measure, or you can measure on your mat, or you can use pencil and a normal ruler if you haven't got these. Right, here we go. Bringing them out. So for each of these squares, you want to fold them in half, diagonally, or across the, this way in half. Triangle, make a triangle. Do that for both. And then you want to open them up. So this line here, we're going to use this to pop on the corners, okay? So opening up your piece, you want to make sure that your corner is lined up here. I'll bring that in so you can see. You want to make sure your corner is lined up here. That's where everything important's going on. That corner is lined up. Just keep folding it back and having a look, and then pin that into place. And then you want to do the same with the top corner, and you want to again make sure that top corner is where you're butting that piece up. That's obviously not perfect. I'll do that on the cutting mat. But line up those two pieces. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to stitch along that fold line. Okay. So you've got a little flap. You're going to stitch along that fold line. So let's do that. And you're going to repeat that for both squares. Over to the machine and along that fold line. Now I've said that and now I'm doubting myself. No, but that is right. Oh, honestly. If there was no one here, I wouldn't doubt myself. Well, I probably would, but I wouldn't, say it out loud. Right, again, stitch on that fold line, all the way along, and then off. I always like to have a little run off. So now you've got what looks like this. You're going to chop off these corners, you're going to chop off. So you've not ironed anything, your squares that you've put on are still flat. You're going to go to either side of your stitch line and chop off those by 1/4 inch or you know, closer if you want to. Before I cut that, let's just double check. Yes. What's it they say? Measure twice, cut once. Okay, that one. Flip it round. Hi, Dawn. No, that's okay. Don't you worry about that. You can always catch up. Right, cut those off. Bring in your mat or your ironing board. Just press those, and then you're going to roll them out. Roll that one out. And that is your first one completely done. We're going to make 3 more, and I'm going to do them all a lot quicker. So if you are stitching along, hopefully you've got the idea now, and we can all make them at the same time, but I'll still be chattering away. There's no stopping me chattering away. But I'm going to pre-prepare now my squares. So I need 3 2.5 inches for either side of the centre block. So I'm going to lay those out together. Put them, those ones there. I also need 2 2.5 inches for the corners of each piece. Oh, that's brilliant, Denise. Thanks very much. I love that we're getting a bit of a community going here, which is fab. Right, so those 2.5 inches go there. Another 2.5 inch squares for the third block, and then finally, oopsies, didn't cut that very well at all, dear. The 4th block. Right, so I've cut all my 2.5 inch squares in the lilac, and then obviously we need to come back to that when we do the next one. So let's get cracking with the next blocks. Where should I put this one out of the way? Just there. So right sides together to the machine. I'm just going to try and do everything quite close together so that I don't have to keep moving things around, because I think that's what slows the process down. Okay. Also need to plug in my iron this side. That would also be a lot easier. Right. Make sure you've got it face you, and don't forget about those threads as well. Just keep trimming them off as you go. I hope someone else's cutting mat is as filthy as mine. Right, lilac. Up against there. Right sides together. So is anyone else in isolation? Block near the pink fabric. Please can you put your finished block near the pink fabric so you can see it? Yes. This is the first one, but we're doing we're doing 4 altogether. Can you see that okay? Hopefully. It's gone now. Right, so line this up. Right sides together. I'm like a broken record, I know. Ah, brilliant. You can see that. Perfect. Perfect. Right, press that back. These colours are making me really cheerful, actually, I have to say. Right, make sure that's square. Pop that to one side. Yep. Not isolated yet, Sandra. Yes, put it on the mat. Oh, you want me to keep it there? Is that what you're saying to me? You just want it there? Can you see? You can't see that. You can see that. Right. Okay, so turn it round to face me properly. Oh, right, I've made an error. That's the wrong side. It needs to be up on here. It's not concentrating. So I'll just unpick it. Too busy trying to move the block so you could see it. Obviously you don't have to unpick it, just start again if you want to. I'm sure that you've got enough fabric to just start again. I hope everyone's using up their stash. We were built for this, chaps. We were built for this. We all know. We know what to do in a crisis. Hunker down if we can. Hazel, you're on total lockdown. Yeah. Right. Let's put that exactly actually where it needs to be. That's my mum telling me that to move that block, so I'm blaming my mum. Right, press. I really do need to move my iron. It's getting a bit annoying, actually. Just flatten out where I had previously stitched and get rid of any threads. Oh, hold on. It's your day off. Cancelled, yeah. Leslie. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. Well, I do hope your son remains okay. And Louise, you're in isolation too. Yeah, I think that's going to be the way of it, isn't it? Right. I actually said I was going to blast through this block, didn't I, really quickly? But at the minute, I'm falafeling. Okay, so now we're going for the hot pink side. No, we're not. We're going for the purple side. So again, make sure you've placed it where you can visualise it, where you can see, where you know where your next piece is going. So this is, just square this off. Okay. Right, so this purple is going here, right sides together to the machine. I'll try and speed up. And all the way off the edge. So don't forget, if you do make any of the blocks, then post a picture. Please post a picture. Let's have a look. We all want to see what we're all doing, and you know, or if you haven't made one of the blocks, you're making something else. You might just have me on for company. Then let's have a look at what you're making. Do you know, I've got a huge worktop here. It's huge, and I am shrinking myself into the tiniest of areas so you can see everything. And I'm not used to it now. I'm used to chucking my stuff all over the place. Hot pink. A little thread there where I overran on the other one. Just trim. Don't worry about making mistakes, because it helps us beginners to not feel too bad when we do the same. Oh yeah, I make mistakes all the time. You know, it's rushing, it's all that stuff. You know, we've all got a lot on. We've all got limited time, and I know I am one of the main culprits for not taking my time. I just don't want you to get bored. I sent the husband down to the shop this morning because we're on to our last milk, and bear in mind, this was when the shop opened. We got the last milk on the shelf, whole milk, which is great for the kids, but I certainly don't really want to drink whole milk. Obviously I will, I'm not, you know. In these times, can we be fussy? But yeah, the last one. Then I thought, oh, now I feel bad that if someone else went in to buy milk, they didn't have the milk. But what can you do? I can't, you know, whatever. Right, fold these two. And then of course the schools are closing on Friday. My lot are off already in isolation. And when they got the news, and they reacted very positively to the schools being off, until I told them that it wasn't a holiday and that their teachers had set up online classrooms for them and they were expected to participate. They weren't overly thrilled. But you know, too bad, that's what I say, too bad, needs must. We must do as we are told, to the most part. To the most part. Right, I'm stitching those creases. So if you've just joined and you're thinking, oh, she's not really telling us what she's doing here, I'm repeating myself from the first one, so making 4 of these. So if you want to go back, you can watch the step-by-step of how to put it together. There is no point me doing 3 more step-by-steps of how to put the same bit together. A long crease. Oh, take my pin out. Right, what we've got. Should have been a community crafters. So I'm christening my 50th birthday present. I'm presuming that says new sewing machine. I can't read the rest, but absolutely brilliant. Happy birthday to you. Louis Marilyn, sorry I'm late. I have to catch up later. That's okay. Real time helps to see the whole process. Well, you're welcome, Louise. Yeah, I thought actually I wouldn't prepare anything. I'd just get my 2.5-inch strips like I've told you to do. So we're all doing the same thing. I do chuck all my bits on the floor, chuck all my scraps on the floor, and then I do hoover, I do sweep up every so often. I will not confess to sweeping up every day, because I don't. Right, second one done. Add it to the pile. Next one. Of time, but I'm also conscious that I don't want to rush it so it turns out rubbish. So I'll just go at my own speed. Feel free to dip in and out as you want to. Lilac. Right, now concentrate this time, because this is where I went wrong last time. Lilac needs to be up there, so it needs to be here. For tomorrow's live, I'm going to move the iron. It's very annoying. But I can't do that now because I'd have to go under the table in order to do that. Right, square off. This is helping with my self-isolation, Sally. I'm thrilled because it's certainly helping with mine. It certainly is. Right, now we're on to the purple. So we're already on number 3, so it does, you know, you can rattle through these quite quickly. Line up. Once you know your technique, oh, not quite long enough. Yes. So I'm thinking of ordering a mini greenhouse, one of those plasticky ones, so that I can get the kids out planting. I did have one last year, but you remember when it was super windy? It blew over, and it was the day after we'd planted all our seeds, so the whole lot went into the gaps in the driveway. So we lost all the seeds, and we'd planted carrots and pumpkins and all sorts, and we lost it all. So I'm thinking of giving it another go, and this time securing it somehow to the ground, maybe with like tent pegs or something, because I think it would be good for them. Lynn, that's okay. Sally, my machine chewed up my material twice. My cotton broke 3 times, but I finally finished my first block. Yay. Well, that's absolutely brilliant. Chris, hi, what is this block called? It is called a ribbon star, woven ribbon star. Yesterday was Ohio Star. I do not take any credit for inventing the blocks. They're all just blocks that are known in the patchwork world, or some people know them, some people don't know them. I'm sure that's the way with a lot of blocks. You can't possibly know every block. I definitely don't. But this is just my way of putting it together. Right, trim that up. Take my 2.5-inch squares. Fold them. One. Two. Take them to your corners. Again, don't rush this bit because you need to make sure those top corners are lined up. As the children's granddad would say, no rushing. There's no rushing in this house. And the other one. We are actually currently in the middle of a sunflower competition, and I do need to send my sister a picture of our sunflower. She does keep asking me, but I do think we're winning. The children's granddad gave the littlest pair, William and Seb, 2 sunflowers each, and granddad planted, I think he said about 10 or something. And he's just had his first little sprout, whereas Seb's got 2 massive sprouts. I do think it's the fen air. We are in the fens. You're very welcome, Chris. I'm enjoying spending some time with humans, adults. Right, there's that one. And now we're on to the last one. Where's the machine? You probably can't see that now, can you? No. Try to move my area a bit further apart, but there we are. Oh, I'm going to run out of bobbin. No. Okay. Who wants to play a game of bobbin roulette? Is this bobbin going to last for the next strip? I don't think it is, but we'll try. Okay, ladies and gents, in this episode of Bobbin Roulette, Abeygale versus the Elna Explore 340. Oh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Oh, that is dreadful. What did I do there? Okay, Elna. It's you versus me here. Oh, they've got massive sprouts. That's a bit annoying. Right, ready? Bobbin roulette. Oh, Elna, you won. You won. Look. Oh no, it didn't. Yes, it did just. Look at the bit of bobbin. Wow. That was pretty cool. It's all this isolation, it's sending us crazy. Alright, trim that up. Machine 1 Abby Neal. I know. Oh, gutted. Yet I'm really excited about it. I should be cross about it. Right, let's do my bobbin. I'm surprised actually, you know. Just made it. At least I noticed though. It'd be really frustrating if... Oh, you haven't really got sprouts. Oh, you great big faker. You're going to buy one, aren't you? You're going to buy a massive sunflower from Asda or something and stick it in a pot. I can see what's happening here. Get some bobbin. I don't need too much bobbin because I'm not doing too many more, so we'll just stop there. Not using too much more, I should say. I actually can't believe I fell for it. I thought for a second you had really big sprouts. That'll teach me for being so gullible. Right, get this piece in. Piece. Does anyone else's husband have a habit of having new words that they say constantly? Oh, honestly, David gets into the habit of repeating the same word so many times. And at the moment, it's peace. So he'll say, are you getting ready for the filming piece? Are you stocked up for the isolation piece? I don't, it's driving me crazy. Not that's relevant to anything that we're doing. Right, so purple. Purple. Snip that bit off. Just make sure this edge is straight. Plastic one's ready for the garden. I see. Okay. So purple on this side, right sides together again. And stitch. Press. Remember what I said about pressing to the dark side. So you want your dark side fabric facing up. You're going to set that seam and you're going to roll it over. Like Next door had a Sainsbury's delivery this morning, and I nearly wanted to shout out the window that they're having contraband delivered, and I'd give him 20 quid for the milk, but I restrained myself because, you know, some people find me funny, some people don't find me funny. Right, this pink strip. My Dave does it all the time. Maybe it's a Dave thing. Probably. I'm self-isolated because of medication and age. My husband went to us to get Easter eggs for our 21 grandchildren. Oh, I can't see the rest of that. I'm hoping he got them. I'll catch up in the comments after. Rightio, we're nearly at the end of this last block. Right, set that seam. Move my pins, they're getting in the way. I can see my accuracy is getting worse and worse as I go. Lynn Curtis is watching. Oh, Grandma's watching. Hi, Grandma. I hope you're okay. Right, 2 squares. Oh, now I feel a bit of pressure because my grandma's a very good stitcher. Right, fold these. When I was little, I think I was about 10, my grandma said to me it was my turn she was going to make me a quilt. It was my turn. There's a lot of us in the family, so it got to my turn. And she showed me her quilt book, and she said, you can choose any of the quilts in this book and I'll make it for you. So I said, okay. So I looked in this book, and in this book was a panda quilt, and it had blocks that were made to look like pandas, and each panda was holding a bamboo shoot. You can't see me. A bamboo shoot and a leaf coming out of its mouth that was it wasn't stitched in, it was floppy. I said, I'd like that one, please, Grandma. And sure enough, my grandma made that quilt for me, and it is my most prized possession. I love it. The children keep trying to take it, but it's mine. It's my quilt. They can't have it. Right, this one. Just before I came on the live, I was watching This Morning, and they were showing viral videos, and I was crying with laughter. If you haven't watched the one, Catch It Derry, it's hilarious. See if you can, it'll be on YouTube. Just type in Catch It Derry, and it's all about, it's an Irish family, and there's a bat loose in their kitchen. And the chap is shouting to his dad, whose name is Derry, to catch the bat. All the while his mum is peering through the glass door, but she's not just peering through it, she's pressed against it. Oh, I was howling with laughter. I thought, well, this is great for the mascara just before I'm about to come on and do a live video, isn't it? Right, so that's all 4 blocks done. I'm going to just clear the decks. Let's clear everything over there. Let's keep nice and organised. Bring in the mat fully. You're having a little lunch. Oh, don't blame you. Right, I'm just going to press every block again, just so that they are all, we're starting off on a nice footing. 2, 3. Oh, I love it. This one, was this my first one? It's not very good. Not very good at all. tall. Right, so now we're going to put them together. So what you can do is lay them all here. Hopefully, let me know if you can see this area. You can lay them out how you choose, but what I like to do is have the block like this. Can you see that? I just shoved it that way a bit. Can you see that okay? So what you want to do, you can have it like this, or you could have it, no, that would be how you can have it. I'm thinking there's a different way. But I suppose you could, you know, have them as flowers and have them as a runner, if that's what you want to do. You can't see. Oh, you can see. So 1 to 2, or 1 to 2, 3 to 4, all together. So we'll do that now. 1 to 2, right sides together. Line up your edges, line up your seams. There's some dodgy stitching going on here. Bit of trimming, I think, afterwards. 1/4 of an inch. Keep those seams flat. Bit of bulk there. All the way to the end. I will press that, but I'm going to press it after I've done the other one. So 3 to 4. I've not taken my own advice and chopped off the threads here. So get rid of those. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. 3 to 4. I've now picked that up and messed about with it, so I'm just going to make sure that it's right, which it is. Line up your seams. See, this is a really easy block because you're only working with 2.5 inch strips. And also it means if you've got a load of pre-cuts still, if you've got a load of pre-cuts in your stash, you can use them. Use them up. I'm sure you've all got some 2.5 inch pre-cuts. Right, now I'm going to iron these. So pressing that seam, caught that bit there, moving any pins out of the way. Press the seam, roll it open, press the seam. I love these colours so much. They just make me happy. Just make me happy. Ah, oh, pretty, yes, pretty, isn't it? Right. Okay, and now we are going to put top to bottom. So taking the top one onto the bottom one, and you want to line up that centre seam. Bring in the machine. Line up the centre seam. That's ish. It's about ish. You do want to try and be as accurate as you can be, because that's the centre. It's quite a bit of a focal point, but it will do for this. Just gonna have a look. Ish. When I get to a seam, I like to lift my foot up just so I'm not catching it. Go over it again, and then it should be fine. And I'm gonna, again, you can pin this, you can quilt and clip it. You've cut out yesterday's, sew together. Watching and pausing, brilliantly, brilliant. No pressure, but there are more watching today. I know, at one point we had nearly 50 people watching. No pressure. I have to say though, I do stitch on TV. So I am used to people watching me, but I'm not used to the interaction. Normally I'm just talking to a presenter, but I do love this. I'm loving this, talking to everyone. Right, And if all has gone to plan, we are going to iron this seam down. We're going to roll it back, and we have got ourselves a ribbon, woven ribbon star, like so. I would probably get my steam iron on at this point, because you've got a lot of bulk in here, you've got a lot of seams. Getting your steam iron involved is a very sensible idea. I'm going to trim this now, so that it's all neat, so that when I come to join everything together, rotary cutter, I've got neat sides. So if we bring in our other block, you can see that they're pretty much identical. I just need to trim off any excess. Now what I do is I take my ruler to the top line, and I'm just going to trim this off. Just the tiniest fraction. Like so. Does anyone else's rotary cutter keep pushing? This guard seems a bit loose. So when I'm using it, the guard is slipping down, and it's not cutting because the guard is making contact with the fabric. And I keep having to push it up like that, which is not good. I don't want my fingers anywhere near that, thanks very much. So I'm turning it every time. If you've got a rotating cutting mat, then you can just do this on there. And you don't need to turn it, you can just rotate your mat. But I know a lot of us don't. I don't. Okie dokie, last side. I really like this a lot. Make sure we are level. There, all 4 sides done. Look at that. Right, let's turn you up. Ooh, hello, it's me. Thank you for this. I made 2 so far. Brilliant. It's great. You're welcome. Looks great. Thank you. Well, you're very, very welcome. So this is the block today, the woven star block. Really easy, really easy. And now it makes me realise I need to press this one. So if I put these both on my wall mat, you can see. Now obviously the order of how we're going to put these all together, that's up to you. You can follow what I do if you like, or you can do your own order. I'm going to just iron this first block first. But before I put these together, I will be steam ironing these blocks so that everything's flat and everything goes together nicely. So if I just put this one here and this one here, there's going to be sashing between, but there's your 2 blocks so far. Okay, so you've got the Ohio star that's fallen down. Ohio star and the woven ribbon block, but they're the 2 blocks we've got so far. If you didn't see yesterday's, then that is on the page under discussion, or I've shared it around the block a bit so you'll be able to find it. And I'll also share this one that we've done today around, so if anyone hasn't seen it, they can catch up. You're all very welcome. Thank you all for, just turn my iron off before I forget. Thank you all so much for keeping me company, for keeping me sane, for giving me some stitching to do, and for having a chat with me as well. It's much appreciated. Imagine the children probably finishing their film now because I have gone on and on and on. But if you've watched this far, thanks very much. I'll give you another little, I'll just hold them up one final time for you so you can see them. There's your blocks that you've made so far. I really like them. I love the colours. But as I said, I definitely don't have enough of these fabrics to make the next 10 blocks. But what I probably will do is have enough to make 4 more blocks. So I'll probably do 2 lap quilts of 6 blocks each, or you can do a 12 block quilt. I'm just going to see how much I get, how much fabric I've got left. Right, thanks again for watching. That fly is back. He's right there. He's huge. He's like the size of a 5p. That's how big he is. Here he comes. Oh, jeez. Right, tomorrow, 11 o'clock, same place. I'll be putting the block up at 6 o'clock at the latest tonight. It might be earlier, but at the latest you'll be up at 6 o'clock, so you know what size pieces to prepare. Thanks everyone, thanks for joining me. I won't witter on anymore. I'll see you all tomorrow hopefully. Bye for now.